Good day, everybody. So today we're gonna do a basic Unity game from scratch. But one thing is that in the last tutorial we created. There's a box I have, and I see the box in the wireframe mode, and this is how it looks in the shaded mode. But when I put my camera inside, uh, I can see the game inside the inside view. So I've just what I've done is I've just drag and drop the game window just beneath the scene so I can see both of them together. So I switch back to the wireframe mode so I can see inside what's going on. So right now there is nothing in between this box. So let's look at the game requirements. So this is the game requirement. We need to implement these 9 requirements. First is that we need to create a gun that fires the bullets. Okay. So which means we need to create two objects here. One is a gun and the other one is a bullet. So let's create quickly a bullet. So I'm gonna go here, game object, 3D, and a bullet. Let's create a cube and call it bullet. And the bullet is obviously a physics body, so I'm gonna give it physics rigid body, which also follows gravity, obviously. And then I need to create a material for this, so you can come to create and material, or you can just create and then from here a material. I'm gonna give it bullet material, bullet matte, for example. Let's give it a color, uh, this color metallic and smooth, so it's good to see. I position it inside the box, make sure it is positioned inside the box, and then I add the bullet material to it. So this is the bullet. Oh, did I add okay, did I add a yeah, instead of a ball, what I did was I actually added a cube. So I'm gonna just change that to sphere, because sphere is a better bullet. So just delete this game object 3D sphere and I call it bullet, and I similarly I apply rigid body to it, and then this bullet material to it so I can see it clearly. Yeah, the bullet material is here and I can see my bullet. Okay, and then I will add a gun which actually fires bullets. So I need to create a game object. It can be any basic. Let's just create a little more realistic gun. So I create a game object, and inside game object I create two cubes. So if you do that, it will go inside it, or you can just right click the game object and 3D and cube. So I've got two cubes here. This is gonna be my gun, and this is going to be the bottom part of it, which is, let's say, holder, and this is the barrel. So let's create a material for these two so we can see them clearly. This is the holder material. The holder, let's choose black and metallic. This is the holder, and I give it this material, the holder material. Okay, and then we have the barrel. Right click, create material, and this is the barrel material. Let's give it something like gray here, and also metallic. That's barrel, this is holder. Okay, so this is holder which has got this one, barrel should get this material. Okay, let's bring this down, a gun. Okay, so where's the holder? Let's just stretch this a little bit. This is my holder, and then I'm gonna, I just pressed W to R to stretch it, and then to E to rotate it. So I'm gonna just rotate it to my suitable angle. So let's see. No. Okay, and then this is my barrel. I'm just gonna bring this here. Just position it correctly. Okay, maybe better is to make it 0, 0, and 0. Okay, so this is my holder, and in front of this should be my barrel. Let me just place this correctly. Okay, let's just extend this also a little bit.
That is different, you're right. It's a bit different. Yeah. A little bit sideways.
Okay, I'm not sure if that's, yeah, it's in line now. Okay, so that's my gun. So it's got two different materials. This is the holder, this is the barrel, and then I'm gonna add script to it. So let's see what it should do. So when I press the fire button, I just create a C# script. This is gun script, and this gun script does not do anything in the start. It stays where it is, but in the update I'll check if the fire button has been pressed. I'll check if input.get key down, and I advise all of you, if you please use the default editor, which is the Mono develop. It will be much easier instead of the C# developer, which comes from Microsoft. So this starts here, and I'd like to put in the next line. Okay, if input.get key down is fire 1, then it means that the fire has been pressed. So what I need to do now is I need to instantiate a bullet, and its position should be where I am right now. Transform dot position. It shows what you need to give it. You need to give it a position and a rotation. So you say transform dot position, meaning my position. My position means where the bullet is, because we're gonna apply this conscript on the gun. So wherever the gun is, my position means where the gun is, because the script is for the gun. Transform dot rotation. Okay, so on that rotation, create a bullet. Now what is bullet? This script does not know bullet, so you define that over here as a game object variable, and you will actually drag and drop from the screen what the bullet is, and it will keep on instantiating whenever you press the fire button. So this is my bullet over here, and this is the gun. The gun should have the script we just created. Make sure you save it by control save or command save. So let's just drag and drop this over here. It is expecting a bullet variable. We drag and drop the bullet variable. So we're telling it whenever you detect somebody has fired the button, just instantiate a bullet. Let's do that now. Okay, it should instantiate a bullet. It's okay, there's an exception. Fire 1 is unknown. Let's see what this means here. Yeah, so we're getting these errors. Alright, so this is because its key down should be button down. Key is for keyboard, button down is for the mouse. Yeah, so that should work. Go away. Okay, so yeah, you need to press this on the game, so you will see the bullets are being fired. uh, yeah, so it's firing the bullet. Now they don't really look like a bullet, that's the issue. Now one thing you should be doing is just position this in such a way that it is looking forward, and we can move it towards right and left at least. Okay, so let's do that now, and also add some force to the bullets because they're very slow, obviously. So whenever the bullets are created, we don't have the script yet for the bullets, so let's add some force onto them. Yeah, and that's when we start referring to the rigid uh, body. Okay, so let's go back to the script. Create a script for the bullet, create C# script, and say bullet script, and now we need to also do the collisions when we come to that. So let's open the bullet script, and we start public rigid body, our body. Okay, and start, we actually create the reference to that. Our body is equal to our body, um, get component, and this should be in this typecast rigid body, and the constructor. So this constructs or creates a reference to the rigid body, and once the rigid body is created, we can definitely add force to it. So we add force. So we want to add force in the straight direction, which is x, obviously, not up, not down. So let's say we want to shoot in 1000 points in the x, y 0, and z 0. Okay, so yeah, and that's a bullet script. As soon as the bullet starts existing, so the gun, it all starts from the gun. When the gun starts to fire and it detects that the user has pressed the mouse button, which is the left mouse button, the main button, it will instantiate, which will create a bullet at the position of the gun and at the rotation of the gun, wherever it is directing towards, and wherever its position is. And as soon as the bullet starts to exist, it will have a force of 1000 points moving towards the x direction, which is forward. So let's come back over here. Bullet, did I add over here the script? Okay, bullet script, yes I did. So when I play this, so this was by default, I created already, but now when I start to fire, yeah, so I can see bullets are being fired, and obviously you can add force to it. Maybe 3000 will be more faster. Let's, yeah, that's definitely more faster, and it's so fast. Remember, the wall is also rigid body, so it actually follows physics on the wall also. So it is actually colliding with the wall, and it is, going outside. So don't add too much force that it actually uh, breaks the wall. So I just come back to 2000 and fire, and not yet. Maybe too much force. No, it's not breaking up the wall. All right, so that's my bullet. Now the second thing I want to do, let's see, what I want to do is I'm gonna hit the target. So the bullet should hit the targets, and some targets should be rotating. Let's create some targets very quickly. So I have a capsule, I'll call it target A, and another target cylinder, target B, and target okay, cube, target C. Okay, these are just placed inside, so we need to position them correctly. Okay, so position them at a convenient place. So okay, this is target C, target B also somewhere here. Okay, and then target A is also in the corner. Come in the middle, guys. Okay, This is target A, target B, target C. Do they have rigid bodies? Not yet, so let's give them rigid bodies. Is rigid body necessary? First of all, let's think. I don't think it's necessary. All we need is collision. Rigid body is for ball, and what we need target A, B, and C for is for basically collision and score calculation. So we make sure the colliders are there for target A, target B. There's a capsule collider, target C. There's a box collider for us. Okay, now what we can do is we can move forward with our requirement. Bullet should hit targets, and some targets should be rotating. So let's do that. Can the bullet hit target now? Yes, the bullet can hit target, but does the collision happen? Alright, so I cannot move my gun from the keyboard yet, so let's do that. We need to come back to the gun script, make sure it is movable from the script. Let's say if in the gun script, so I'll just copy and paste this over here, the command which we used before to create a rectangle at let's say we create at 20, 15, 150, 25, and we say this is the score, and the value should be also score. Okay, and in the bullet script we are changing that score always we are increasing it by 10. Okay, so since you don't know what the score is, so what you can do is gun script dot score, so you actually refer where the score is. It should be public score. So yeah, now you can see gun script. So in the gun script, whatever the score is, you increase it by 10. Yes, let's copy the name of the gun script. But now increase it by 30. Okay, so let's test that. There are some errors. Okay, now this is public int score. Let's give it static. This is mandatory. You have to make sure it is static because everybody else is referring to it. Let's play this now. You should see a score here. Okay, and the score is actually happening. Okay, so I think my gun has gone outside. I need to place it inside. Yeah, I need to bring it in the box. It's gone outside. Basically it's the same code for making sure it's within the bounds. If you remember the bounds were, okay, yeah, so I'll come back. As you can see, when it hits the target, if it hits the target, the score is being increased. Now the thing is, it should only not be hitting the target, it should also be destroying. Some targets should be rotating, which is happening. Targets should have different scores, which is happening. Destroy some targets upon collision but leave others without destruction. All those scores should be increased. So the score is being increased for all. You see the bullet, it is targeting, colliding with everybody and increasing the score, but it should only destroy. Let's say it should only destroy target B. So you say destroy. Then you should actually try this out. Obj dot collider. Okay, obj dot game object. Actually, yeah, we destroy this. So let's run this now. I'm not sure which is A. Oh, this one is A. This one is B. So let's target B. So clearly we're not hitting it. So okay, now we hit it, so it's now gone. Okay, now the thing is, it is hitting B and it is destroying B, and also let's also destroy C. Okay, so yeah, it destroyed C and it will now also destroy B, but not A. If it hits A, it won't destroy, because you see it is actually using the target A, which is continuously moving or rotating, but we can't actually see that clearly. Maybe the changing axis will be helping us. So yeah, it hit it, but it didn't destroy. That's my gun all over the place. So I need to add bounce, if you see from my last tutorial. And then let's see what's remaining. Okay, for these you can refer to my previous tutorial, or else I'll do this quickly. The fired bullet should be with a random force as follows: Y, X, and Z. X, Y, Z all should be within the random force, so it's very easy. So whenever you are creating the force, instead of creating the force, add them into random. So I'll say random dot range, and I say from 0 to 300, and this one just copy paste, copy and paste. This one is 200 to 300, whatever the requirement is, just replace those values. 50 to 80, and you see it's just a random number now in the random direction, so it's not always in the same direction. The numbers are quite less, I believe. So okay, so yes, some of them should be if you increase the numbers, you'll see some of them. If you increase the range, some of them will be very fast, the others will be very slow. What other requirement do we have? Add collision text box such that upon every collision of the bullet with target, the counter should increase by 1. So you count the collisions, how many collisions are actually happening. So what you do is, basically, you see the bullet is colliding. So let's do this over here. You say private count the collision count initially is 0, and let's do the ongoing thing over here in this file. That is, create a new collision count 2015. That one was 2015. This one should be, let's say, 4515. Collision count is collision count. Okay, so it should have, by the way, it should be private int, static int, so it does not always change with the new bullet collision count. So whenever there's a collision, just increase it by 1. Collision count plus is equal to 1. Okay, and that should show us our collision count. So let's run this. There you are, our collision count. Whenever there's a collision with anything, actually anything, it should not be with anything, it should be with the target. Let's do this within target and correct its position also. Since instead of 45, let's bring it back to 20 and increase this to 45. So this should be only when you hit the target. Okay, let's do that. Yeah, it's not increasing all the time, as you can see. Only when you hit the target, even this target which it is not destroying, even if it hits this, it should actually, yeah, it hits it. Yeah, okay, so it's doing that when it is hitting the targets. Okay, let's come back. What else was the requirement? Add a health text box such that upon every collision of gun with anything, and health goes down by 5. So we initialize it by 100. So let's do that here also. The same file, same line. I actually do this on 65. Health, private, static, int. Private because I don't want the user to change it while he's playing the game. Health is equal to 100, and whenever it hits anything, any target, health minus is equal to 5. Health goes negative. Okay, let's do that. Yeah, it has hit the target and the health goes down by 5. Let's increase this target. Okay, it went down by 290. Okay, I hope that helped.